Rise and shine. Time to get this week started. With some coffee. Definitely start with some coffee. Now that I have some caffeine coursing through my veins, it's time to make some breakfast. I usually have oatmeal with some protein added to it, or as you guys recommended calling it, oatmeal. But this morning I decided to switch it up a little bit and have a delicious protein shake. And now that I've finished my protein shake, I finished my coffee, it's time to head out the door because this is the first phase of the cutting program and I'm pumped to start this thing. So let's get lifting. Since we are currently on a program geared towards leaning out, and we went through a bulk last winter, I thought this was a perfect opportunity to talk about cutting versus bulking, or lean versus bulk, the differences and pros and cons of each. First, let's get the obvious out of the way. Bulking is essentially bringing your total caloric consumption higher, so that way you stay in a surplus of calories each week, while most likely performing a program geared towards strength and size, with heavier weights, longer rest times, and little to no cardio. Leaning down or cutting is lowering your caloric intake so you're in a deficit of calories each week, most likely performing a program designed with higher intensity and frequency of training, shorter rest times, higher amount of cardio, etc. Cutting or bulking should be planned out for months, giving your body and mind the time to acclimate itself and adapt to what you're introducing. A common mistake is not to give yourself enough time to let the body go through its changes and or adapt to what you're introducing to your body. It's like that old saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, and that goes for your body too. Some of the reasons for bulking or cutting used individually can be based around life's events. You want to get lean because you're getting married and want to look your best, you're going on a vacation, you want to get a sweet six-pack for the beach, or you want to bulk up so you can try out for your high school football team. There's also bulking and cutting phases used together throughout the year, putting on a large amount of mass onto your body by bulking for a few months or more, and then shedding the body fat to reveal the newfound lean body mass by cutting. This is a very popular technique used by bodybuilders for a long time, and at its essence, it's to speed up the process of putting on lean body mass by overfeeding your body through a bulk and then cutting down, trimming off the body fat without losing the hard-earned lean body mass. Some can take it to the extreme. I mean, just look at Lee Priest. He put the dirty in dirty bulking. Now this dirty bulking can be used as an excuse to eat whatever the hell they want, which can be a dangerous thing. Not only this can put an excess amount of fat onto your physique, you can end up having high risk of diabetes, heart disease, and high blood pressure to name a few, and it can make it very difficult to lose the weight you've gained once you decide the bulk is over. Now cutting can also have its extremes. One of the major mistakes is to give yourself a short amount of time to achieve an unrealistic goal. I want to get down to 4% body fat in 3 weeks. Going to the gym 6 days a week, cardio 7 days a week, cutting out all carbs and fats with your total calories barely enough to feed a mouse. You'll most likely find yourself exhausted, fatigued, and probably worse off than when you started this hard cut. So as you can tell, these body manipulation techniques can be misunderstood or done wrong. It can be very difficult mentally to stay on a certain eating regimen for months on end without laying out a proper game plan. You could find yourself easily slipping into bad eating habits with bulking by telling yourself, but I'm bulking bro, and cutting can trick you into the no carbs bro zone. Most of what we're talking about is the consumption of calories and macros. This is because of how important nutrition is to how you build your body. Hudson made a video and talked about how typically people spend an hour in the gym, which is only 4% of your day. It's kind of crazy to think. This is why nutrition is going to be so important. It takes up quite a bit more time and focus to lock down. And this is why it could be said that, although important, training can take a bit of a backseat to nutrition on how you can either gain or lose weight. You'll know this while bulking, you want to increase your overall calories, but you'll see a lot of nutritional programming increase the carbohydrates. This is supplying your body with an overabundance of energy that's stored in the muscle and liver in the form of glycogen. Now the downside of this is when having an overabundance of carbohydrates, your body will use lipogenesis, which is when your carbs are converted into fat or lipids. Now this is what can cause an increase in body fat, so it can be a very thin line in building lean body mass or body fat. You have to fine-tune your personal macro percentages to get the best results. It also depends on your goals too. If you're a powerlifter or strongman, you're not going to really care about how much body fat you have on you. You just want to make sure you have enough food and energy so that way you can lift as much weight as possible. When cutting, you'll see a lot of people decrease the carbohydrates in their eating habits while increasing their protein intake and keeping the healthy fats at a low to moderate range. This is when a metabolic process called gluconeogenesis can start to happen, when the conversion of non-carbohydrate sources of energy are converted into glucose. The problem is, it's not just fat being converted into glucose or energy, it's also proteins as well, and that's why in the long run you could eventually see muscle catabolism. Now you'll see there's problems with both of these strategies, bulking and cutting. What's the answer? Well, for one, everyone is slightly different and will respond to nutrition in their own way. This is why it's so important to make a strategy, from TDEE calculators, writing a simple nutritional breakdown of what you should stick to, and making sure when you go to the grocery store, you're only getting foods that you need or that work best for you. And hey, you can cheat every once in a while, but try to keep it in moderation. So what's the final verdict? There are undeniable benefits to making a specific goal, like I want to add some size onto my body by increasing my calories and to try to hit a higher amount of weight on my compound lifts. Or I would like to lean down and achieve a more aesthetic look to my physique, or get to a lower, healthier weight. These can be achieved through the techniques known as bulking and cutting. There's no feeling like the accomplishment of when you go through a few months of either bulking or cutting and come out the other end a better, stronger you, both mentally and physically, and you'll soon find out you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. What do you guys think? Comment below, bulk or lean. So with all this talk about nutrition, I think it's about time for a recipe.
Welcome to Brandon's Kitchen. Well, in the last episode, we made a breakfast pizza. And a lot of you guys in the comment section said, that's an omelet or that's frittata. A little bit of a debate there. And I agree. You know, I was trying to get away with it. So I figured in this episode, we'll make a real breakfast pizza. And honestly, any excuse to make and eat a pizza is a good excuse for me. So what are some of the ingredients you're gonna need? Eggs, turkey bacon, mushrooms, onion, cheese, pizza sauce, jalapeno, and of course you can't forget the pizza crust itself. Preheat your oven to 475 degrees. Cut up the turkey bacon and put it on the skillet at about a medium to medium-high heat to let it cook through. Go ahead and chop up your onion and put it on the skillet on about a medium to medium-low heat with your mushrooms.
Go ahead and put the pasta sauce or pizza sauce on the crust, swirled around to cover all the areas. And then cover it with cheese. After the cheese is on, then go ahead and crack the eggs right on top. Now, take your cooked turkey bacon and spread it around evenly. The last topping is the caramelized onions and the cooked mushrooms. Now slip that beautiful pizza in that oven.
We're gonna set the timer for 8 to 10 minutes and check on it to see if it's that nice golden brown look and the eggs are cooked all the way through. Can't forget to add a little spice. Jalapenos. Well, I'll be damned, I think this breakfast pizza actually was a success. It turned out. First time trying this out, and it looks pretty damn good. Now, it is still very hot. It's cooling down. I don't know if you can see that steam, but yeah, fuck that other breakfast pizza. This is way better. Just another day at the buff dude's office. Mr. Extreme. Someone say Extreme! Is showing Hudson how to make a badass recipe.
And scaring me in the process.
I think this would scare anyone. We're about to run down the neighborhood here in a second, and we'll see how that goes. But first, we're gonna finish the skid up. It's a delicious recipe that we're working on right now here in my kitchen. I think Aga, Hudson's wife, would not stand this.
Yeah, we probably won't be shooting content in my house. And I'm almost wondering if then it cuts to me making the recipe, and the whole time I'm making it, you're messing with me.
Are they extreme?
Well, not really. They're just simple household kitchen items.
Time to make them extreme.
Okay.
Just got to the beach. We were shooting a Steve Reeves workout. I'm getting changed here. As you can see, I'm not quite wearing beach attire.
Hey, and there's movie star Steve Reeves.
This lighting sucks.
Okay. And action.
Mr. Hercules himself seems to be hitting every body part.
Yeah.
Another shoot successfully done. Buff dude's bait.
working all the time. Feels good once you get into a routine, you know? Finishing shoots, videos, applies to everything in life really, but it's a good sense of accomplishment to always be working on something. When you feel stagnant, you notice that your mindset starts to falter a little bit too, because you're like, God, I don't feel like I'm accomplishing anything. In my opinion at least, people are goal-oriented creatures, so it feels good. Finish those small and large goals. And we get, hopefully, a kick-ass funny video in the process.
Yeah. What a swell guy.
Well, that was quite the week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this content, and until next time, stay.
Who the hell are you?